Hello everybody and welcome to Mark Goldbridge, That's Football. We're live for Sweden against Spain, or as I call it, Spain against Sweden. The second game of the group stage will go straight into the... It's funny actually being back in this setup, isn't it? Because we had the guest on this afternoon with Rory. So we had Craig on last night. So it's interesting to be back in this studio, but it means we've got a timer for you, which I know some of you really, really do want. So, yes, I'm excited about this one tonight. Obviously, as a Manchester United fan, we have been linked to Pau Torres. No David De Gea. I mean, I'm not surprised. I'm not surprised by that, and I don't think it's got anything to do with David De Gea's form. I just think it's, Spain have always had an uneasy... Even when David De Gea was fantastic, they've always had this... uneasy sort of way with David De Gea. But look, in this group as well, Poland losing 2-1, Chesney own goal and a Skriniar goal. So Poland off to a decent start. Not Poland. I'm bantering Poland by accident. Poland off to a terrible start with a 2-1 win for Slovakia, and not looking good for Poland, who always seem to flatter to deceive, Poland, actually, don't they? So Poland in big, big trouble. Sweden and Spain playing tonight, and good opportunity for both teams to get off, well, not both teams, but good opportunity to get a win and, move away. Simon's in goal for Spain. Llorente, Laporte, Torres, Alba, Coke. I can never pronounce his name. Koke, Rodri, Gonzalez, Torres, Morata, Olmo. And then Olsen, Lustig, Danielson, Lindelof, Augustinsson, Larson, Ekdal, Olsen, Forsberg, Berg, and Isaac. Watch out for Isaac. I like him as a striker. I think he's a good player. But of course, some people call Torres the Spanish Lindelof. So we will be, we'll see about that, because he's actually going to play against Lindelof tonight. So interesting in that sense. I always think international football, I used to say this during the World Cup as well, I always think international football, you can get carried away by it. Just because you're good at international football club, it doesn't mean you're a genius at club football. But I do like Isaac, and Torres watch it is. For us United fans tonight, or for anybody really. But I think there's a lot of things to be interested in. It would be a hard game to call predictor here. I think Spain are so unpredictable in these last few years. Remember, was it like a decade ago? Spain, you go to every tournament and they'd be the favourites and they'd be the hard team to beat. But I think with Spain these days, it's a little bit different. But yeah, I'm gonna go Spain to win 2-1. I think got it right this afternoon, didn't I? I said Czech Republic 2, Scotland 0. Got that right. Rory said a draw. I got it right. Pedri is the one to have a look at. What a player, says Jens Jensen. Yeah, I don't actually like. I'm gonna have to go. I might go on the One Football app here. I don't actually like the way that they've done this. What colour shirt? He'll be wearing a Spanish shirt. What colour? I've done it again. What number is Pedri wearing, so people can watch out? I know Torres wears number 4. Dani Olmo's not a bad player, plays for Leipzig, doesn't he? Pau Torres, obviously. Torres, number 11, is the Man City one. Morata, as we all know. 26 for Pedri, thank you very much. Number 26 for Pedri. Rodri's number 16, so 26 for Pedri. Coke number 8. Llorente playing at right back for them. Doesn't normally play at Llorente. If it's Llorente from Atletico Madrid, doesn't normally play there. I don't know whether it is actually. We'll find out about that. But Thiago on the bench for Liverpool. No, Thiago of Liverpool on the bench. Just looking at the bench, Ayazabal is a good player. Zarabia is a good player as well. Adama Traore, who you know. So some good players in the squad. Maybe, you know what? Spain could be like Italy. No real superstar anymore, but lots and lots of good players. And as I said, watch out for number 11 for Sweden, Isaac. I like him. Played against United, didn't he? Who does he play for? Does he play for Real Sociedad? Good striker. One to watch out for. Very fast, but tall as well. He'll have to go some to upstage Schick today. What a player, Will Nee, as everyone's calling him. Is that Seb Larsson who still plays for them? I mean, some of these players are getting on a bit now. Forsberg, Larsson. The game is being played in Stockholm. Yeah, it's a Stockholm game, isn't it? No, it's not. It's in Spain. This one's been played in Spain. Yeah, Sevilla. It's being played at 25% capacity. Who's excited? Who's excited for the Hungary game tomorrow at 5 o'clock? I'm doing both games tomorrow, so yeah, I'm very excited about those. I think Craig's going to come on for the Germany-France one, but I'm doing Portugal on my own. I said, don't get me a guest for the Portugal game. I've got my Bruno t-shirt ironed, and I'm ready for a fantastic introduction for Portugal in Hungary, in a ground that's got 100% capacity. Now look, stay safe, stay calm, stay apart, wear a mask, but seeing a stadium with 100% capacity is going to be a really exciting thing. Subbo says, thoughts on Pedri? You know what my thoughts are on Pedri, Subbo? I'm just very excited to watch Spain tonight, because I think, in a way, the Euros are more exciting than they normally would be for me, because I haven't had the opportunity to watch a lot of football other than Premier League football this year. Everybody knows I like Serie A. I've got to be honest, haven't really watched much of it last season. Watched no La Liga. Watched no Bundesliga. Watched no other league. I watched highlights, but I didn't watch any of the football. So watching Spain tonight, I almost feel like I did when I was a kid, when you never used to watch any of the teams, and Italy would turn up and you'd be like, I only know 2 players. I mean, I know all the players, I know all the names of the Spanish players, but I haven't really watched them. So even watching Pau Torres tonight, I watched him against Arsenal. You don't learn anything about anybody when they play against Arsenal, do you? And obviously in the final against United, well, it was a low block. So I'm interested to see how Pau Torres looks tonight in a game where Spain will be the favourites and pushing forward. So yeah, interesting. Please smash a like on the video and do subscribe, bottom right hand corner. You're all very welcome on this channel. Big shout out to Jordan and Joe who did the Poland-Slovakia game. And also let's keep this going. We're getting a lot of good games in this tournament so far. What a game it was. I enjoyed the Czech Republic Scotland. I haven't watched Poland Slovakia, so I'll watch the highlights of that later. But yeah, I'm really looking at really excited about this one. I think these last 3, and already we're at the last 3 games of the first round of games, aren't we? Because tomorrow's the last day of the first round of games. So, but what are 3 games? Spain against Sweden, that's a good game. Portugal tomorrow against Hungary, and then tomorrow night Germany against France. The pick of the round, really, the last game of the first round. So of the first round of games. So these next 3 games are really pen and paper. Can Spain be a title contender? Are France as good as we think they are? Can Portugal just go and dominate Hungary? So yeah, it's going to be very interesting to see how that pans out. But yes, please subscribe. Bottom right hand corner. I haven't even looked at what we're doing for subscribers. It says 425. 425. We are 50 away from 426,000. So please subscribe. Bottom right hand corner. Get involved with That's Football. Everybody's welcome on here. I know some of you have been with us for a while, but if you are new to the channel, it doesn't matter what club you support. We do lots of watch-alongs on here. Premier League, Champions League, sometimes Europa League. Hopefully not anymore. And obviously, loads of chat and debate as well. So make sure you subscribe, bottom right-hand corner. Everybody is welcome. We're 50 away from 426. So bottom right-hand corner to subscribe. Thank you very much. Very, very welcome. Get your questions in. This is how we do the watch-alongs on here. Interactive. If that's it, is it that's or that's football media? It says MEFC345. It's that's football media at gmail.com. There's no apostrophe in it. Yeah, so get in the comments, everybody. I mean, I know there's a lot of you that... I was saying this, if you're watching the watch-along this afternoon, we had Rory from the Kickoff on, or his own channel, and we were talking about this afternoon, about how, I don't know everything, and I like me for not knowing everything. Sometimes I have to ask, but what I like is, as an actual entity, our community, our super chat, not our super chat, our live chats, I can ask it a question, and it will know everything. You'll know absolutely everything. So If I was to say who won... God, we're really quiet today. Thanks for letting me know about that. I didn't realise the mic is proper quiet. Sorry about that. I've just turned it up. You've got to pump it up. I'm excited for this game. Is David injured? Excited to see Torres and Rodri dictating the play. The front line isn't as potent as Spanish sides in the past, says Vignesh. Come on, Lindelof, says Sean Turner. No, De Gea's just not been chosen in goal. They've gone with Simon. So, yeah, I don't know what that's all about. But we're about to kick off here. But, yeah, get into the chat. Let us know what your thoughts are. See, if I was to say who was RB Leipzig's player of the year, somebody in the chat would know. Watch out. Players to watch. Isaac. And I would say for Spain, yeah, Pedri, number 26. Keep an eye on him. Scott says you're a shit, but your birds are fit. Whatever that means. Oh, no. You're shit, but your birds are fit. That's probably something to do with one of the clubs playing in this game. Cameramen love to do that, don't they? Watch out for Almo as well. Forsberg, come on. Laporte is playing yet. He's playing at the back with Torres. I'm just getting loads of people in the live comments telling me loads of different Leipzig players. So nobody actually knows who won Leipzig's player of the year, clearly. Nice arena. This is in Sevilla. I don't know what the hold-up is here. Spanish anthem does not have any official lyrics. That's why they are not singing, Red Baron says in the chat. Thanks for the super chats there. I love Pedri 26, says a young lad of about 8. Well, yeah, I think it'd be interesting with... Oh, there's something wrong with the goal net. I think it'd be interesting with Spain because... Yeah, it'd be interesting with Spain because I've mentioned this a few times about this tournament, and that is that, you know, I think some of the teams that have struggled, Croatia, Switzerland, have looked like decent teams up until the final third. And what you saw today is that Czech Republic have got a player who can score them goals. And, you know, Czech Republic could have been like Croatia. Oh, they're quite good at knocking the ball about, but I think in this tournament, it's about having a striker. You know, Belgium have got Lukaku. Obviously, France have got Benzema now. Portugal have got Ronaldo. And I think that's going to be the big thing. And you know what? Tonight, just watch out for Sweden because with Isaac, they've got a really good number 9. We're up and running anyway. Excited about this one. Up and running. And, yeah, have Spain got that quality up front? Let's see. So, yeah, Victor Lindelof playing for Sweden. Pau Torres at number 4. Let's see what he's all about. Interesting. I don't need to sync because it's there. It's there. Yeah, please subscribe, by the way. Bottom right-hand corner. I'll keep shouting that out until we hit 426. We were about 50 away last time. My score prediction is 2-1 to Spain. Get your score predictions in. And at some point, I'm going to have a look at the next few fixtures because I don't know about you lot. I basically got to Tuesday night and I was like, that'll do for me. Mark, are you a fan of meatballs from IKEA, says Gary Barlow. I'll tell you what, Gary, I think they're absolutely incredible. I think they're superb. I think they're absolutely fantastic. Absolutely brilliant. They are good, meatballs from IKEA. They're very good. Some people are saying 4-1 to Spain. Well, the thing is, this is the great thing about the Euros, is that you never know how good something could be. You don't know how good these teams are going to be. But if you look at... one thing I do like to bring in is the weather. The world's a small place. It's 31 degrees in Sevilla at the moment. It's 9 o'clock. They're an hour ahead. But it's 31 degrees. Lovely Spanish weather. Makes me feel jealous. But what I did want to have a look at is their recent results. So Sweden's recent results are this. What sort of form? It can go out the window because, to be fair, Czech Republic's recent results weren't that great, but they looked good today. So they've beaten Armenia, Finland, Estonia, Georgia, Kosovo. They lost to France 4-2, but they beat Croatia 2-1. They lost to Portugal 3-0. They lost to Croatia 2-1 in the Nations League. So they're not in bad form, Sweden, really, but they don't tend to do well against the big teams. As for Spain, tell me about Spain. Spain results, well, I will tell you as quick as I can type them. Spain's recent results are as follows. Oh, wait a minute, Cross comes in. He's headed it out for a corner. If in doubt, kick it out. And he did. Spain's recent results. Lithuania they beat. They drew with Portugal. Beat Kosovo. Beat Georgia. Drew with Greece in March. Beat Germany 6-0 in the Nations League in November. But drew with Switzerland. Lost 1-0 to Ukraine. Beat Switzerland 1-0. Ukraine 4-0. Germany 1-1. So, mixed results for Spain, really. Mixed results there. Hey, Mark. Who do you prefer to win tonight, says Renate. You know what, Renate? I wouldn't mind Sweden winning. I've always had a soft spot for Sweden, so I wouldn't mind them winning. People just asking me to check Riyad Mahrez's tweet. He's on holiday in Mykonos with Haaland, and he said Agent Mahrez on Twitter, and then he just said just having fun, calm down. Let's see. We're better than that. We're better than that. Football fans need to be better than that. You know? Getting wound up by stuff like that. You know, footballers can have a bit of a laugh, can't they? But it is Spain with all the ball. Written in the stars, a million miles away. Cross comes in. I tell you what I like from Spain. They like crosses. They like putting good crosses in. And they've just put another one in there. Do you think Spain will miss Ramos? Well, yeah, I mean, I think you're always going to miss a player like that. But good cross in from, I think it was Alba. Do you think Laporte would be a good signing for United? No, Daniel. He plays for Man City. You can't just buy players from your biggest rival. Alanga is playing. Is Alanga playing for Sweden? No, he was at the under-21s, Peter. Where's Ramos, PK, Busquets and all them lads? This is a shadow of the former Spanish team, says Mark Whitten. Well, Ramos wasn't picked, probably because of injury. PK, I think, retired, and Busquets has got COVID, so he's not there. But you know, you've got it. Oh, shot over the box there. I think it was Laporte. No, it wasn't Laporte. It was Dani Olmo. Yeah, edge of the box. But yeah, evolution. I mean, I don't know whether anybody noticed it, but I was thinking today, where's Marouane Fellaini for Belgium? He's not there, but he retired a couple of years ago, didn't he? So, yeah. Where is Joe, says Jade. I don't know. There he is, Luis Enrique. I remember him from his Barcelona days. I do like Spain. I like the whole culture of Spain. I'd like to live in Spain. Sources at Brighton, Manchester United and Dortmund made initial contact over Ben White around 2 weeks ago, says Jonathan Matthews. Owen says, did you see Schick's goal? We literally did a watch along on here, so you clearly weren't watching that, Owen. Thanks for that. Cheers, pal. Mark, watch out for Kulievski of Juventus, says Adityo. But Sweden can't get out their own half here at the moment. Don't need to watch out for anybody. Of course, Zlatan was meant to be part of this tournament, wasn't he? But it never actually transpired. Gutted, I'm 25 years to ship to Czech team was wired. No, Adams, Katie, Gilmore, Patterson, Turnbull, must go beat Croatia. Uphill battle, let's have it, says UFC Bible. Obviously Scottish. Scooby-Doo, you never got going. You were more Scrappy-Doo. You weren't Scooby-Doo. You were like Scrappy-Doo. You know, Scooby-Doo's a big, massive dog. Scooby-Doo! You were like Scrappy-Doo, that little dog going, let me at him! Let me at him! Let me at him! You know. Zlatan is injured, that's why he's not playing. Well, he was sort of back, wasn't he? Because he got back for the Milan game, but there you go. Nice ball into Morata. It's a lovely ball into Morata, but good defending there. What is it about United players and highlighting themselves? Like Lindelof's got fluorescent yellow boots on. In my day, you only wore Larry boots if you were really good. You got bloody Scott McTominay coming out in bright pink boots, and he puts out a performance like that today. We've got Lindelof tonight in fluorescent yellow boots. I'm Swedish watching the game in Finland whilst listening to Goldbridge commentary. Incredible scenes, says Nicholas. Who does everyone want to win tonight? I don't think either team are ridiculously... I don't think either team is disliked, is it? That's what I'm trying to say. I do think that Spain obviously are going to have more of the ball. A lot of people saying Spain and Sweden in the comments. I wonder why. I'd like to see the keeper make a big mistake for Spain. Yeah, I'd love it. I want De Gea in. De Gea in. De Gea in. Here's a good question from Subbo. He says, who are your top two teams to qualify from the group of death? Germany can be a threat with most of their players winning the Champions League in the last 2 years. I think that I wouldn't want to give the Spain team confidence, says Vignesh. I think that the group of death, as they call it, with Hungary, Portugal, Germany and France in it. Logic says France first, Portugal second, Germany third. But, you know, there's not a massive difference in quality between France, Portugal and Germany. So it might mix up a different way. I would expect they'll all beat Hungary because they've all got to beat Hungary. But I don't know. I mean, look. Portugal got to get off to a good win tomorrow. It might come down to goal difference, you know. I'm telling you now, Mark, that Isaac is a better player than Marshall and Spain should have Mata in the middle, says Mark Whitten. Sweden are struggling to get out their own half here at the moment. But... yeah, and in fact, if anyone didn't know, in England at the moment, we were meant to be a week today coming out of quite the final tier of COVID restrictions, which would have meant that the future games from next Monday could have had, any games at Wembley would have had full capacity. That's been put back by 4 weeks. So the way things stand, 25% is going to be the capacity for the final, which is a bit of a shame. What's that? Thoughts on upcoming Ashes and World finals, says Ashak. Not really got many thoughts on them at the moment. I mean, they might change that. They did do a test event at the cricket in Birmingham, Edgbaston, which was full capacity. So I'm wondering whether they'll do that for the. I hope they'll do that. Maybe even knock it up to 50% or something like that, just to get a bit more atmosphere in the grounds. Matthew First says there still might be 45,000 for the final. Yeah, I think they'll do some test events. De Gea in, says Owen. Unai Simon is error prone. Well, he's not going to have much to do here. Spain are really keeping Sweden penned in at the moment, which is odd because Sweden do have that out ball to Isaac, but Morata working hard here wins a throw-in. Lockdown never ending, says Manish. Rumours of Leicester buying Coutinho, says the hoodie guy. I saw that today. It'd be a good signing for them. Leicester clearly looking for that sort of player, aren't they? Because they were linked to Lingard. I'm not saying Lingard's better than Coutinho, but you could make that argument, actually. Spain dominating, says Up and I. Yeah, 13 minutes gone, and Spain are just having loads and loads of the ball here. Yeah, what happened to that fan who fell from the top tier at Wembley? And did he fall down the steps, or was it? You know, I'd heard about it, but I've not heard any updates. I think Leicester need a backup striker for Vardy. Really, I know they've got Iheanacho, but I think Danny Ings would be a good player for them. Right, Sweden got the ball here. Can they actually break away? It's gone ridiculous. I mean, where's that? That's a terrible ball. Gets it in his own half. And just smashes it upfield. There's nobody there. Leave Ty alone. He is misunderstood and speaks the truth. Keep strong, Ty. We love you. Kind regards, your friends at the Arkham Asylum, says Sonny S. Yeah, this ain't Ty. Ty's not on here. Spain have a lot of possession, says Liam McClellan. Do you ever plan on bringing Football Manager back to the channel and trying to get into the Football Manager streamer showdown, says Matthew McMahon. I don't know what that is, but I am bringing Football Manager back next month. Yes. Leicester signing Celtic's Edouard. He'd be a good one, Raf, as well. David Constable says sellout. Hard to think how I could be a sellout, really. Deitch getting Ashley Young, then balls to Wood, says Dane Grayson. Yeah. Ashley Young at Burnley would be quite fun, actually. I thought he was going to go to Watford, though. Mark, are you circumcised? It's a very personal question, Zach. No. Odran, I don't want France to win the Euros. Does anybody actually want France to win the Euros? I mean, they're a very popular team. I've got nothing against France, but I don't want them to win the Euros because I think it's bloody boring. What a cross again. What a save. It should have been 1-0. I tell you what, Spain have put in loads of good crossers here. Loads of good crossers. It finds Dani Olmo. He does everything right, and the keeper does it even better as well. Probably should score. He's close enough to score, but he does a lot right. He heads it down into the ground, into the corner, and the keeper's there. Just tips it wide. Lovely. Some good crosses coming in from the Spanish, though, so far. And Olmo ridiculously close to scoring. Fantastic save. Talking about keepers, and it's Olsen. Very good save. I started the Scooby-Doo thing a couple of months ago, so glad you still use it, says Tom Curtis. I was talking about that the other day, Tom. I can't remember why Scooby-Doo started. I'm sure I was told if you want to learn how to do a Scottish accent, Scooby-Doo is a good saying to help you do it. Leicester are such an efficiently run club, they already have targets and going to get the signings done, says Vignesh. How's Lindelof doing, says Ryan. Yeah, well, I was just about to tweet about that. I'm just saying that. I've just tweeted it on Twitter. I've said Spain. What I have noticed in this game is that every cross that comes in, Spain look really, really dangerous. But then I just realised Lindelof's playing at centre back. He's absolutely shit at crosses. So that's probably why Spain are looking good at crosses, because Lindelof's crap in the air. Lindelof failed to defend the header. I'm not even digging Lindelof out here. Anybody who's a United fan will tell you that United concede a lot of goals from crosses. We conceded a goal in the final because of Lindelof. So that's exactly what I told you. I said Jaffa Cakes and Scooby-Doo sound good in Scottish. Scooby-Doo, Jaffa Cakes. That sounds a bit like Biker Grove. Biker Grove, Scooby-Doo, Jaffa Cake, Jaffa Cake. Robert Brazil says, thoughts on Group E, final product and placement. This is Group E, isn't it? Sweden and Spain are playing right now, stating the obvious to buy myself a few seconds. I mean, Spain should finish top. Slovakia, Sweden's going to be the game. I think that Poland never do well. Even though they've got Lewandowski, they never do well. Watchalong with Craig. He's going to be on tomorrow, Martin. Yeah. Might be doing another one with Rory, trying to get a few other people to come on and do them as well. Yeah, mix it up a bit. But it's nice to get back to just interacting in the chat on my own. I don't want to just make it always just about me, but it's nice to mix it up a bit. Yeah, it's a long day for the Scots, isn't it? When you lose at 2 o'clock, it's a long day. The longest day I've had after a loss was the 2002 World Cup quarter-final. We kicked off against Brazil at 7 a.m. because it was in Japan. And we were out of the World Cup by 8:45. And we were leaving the pub at about 9:15 with people going to work out of the World Cup. What do you do with the rest of your day? What do you do with the rest of your day when you're out the World Cup at 9 o'clock and you've already had 4 or 5 pints? That was hard. I think I just went home and went to bed. And the sad thing was, I thought it was going to end up being an all-day celebration, but no. Good old Sven. Good old Sven. That was hard. Would you take Luis Enrique as a Manchester United manager, says Himanshu? I mean, he was linked, wasn't he, when he left Barcelona? I mean, I don't like to be wrong on these things, but didn't Luis Enrique have a personal tragedy? Didn't something happen with his daughter? I think his daughter died or something, which is just horrible to think about. So, but he did quite well at Barcelona, didn't he? I remember that he was being linked to a lot of clubs at that time as well. So, you know, I think football's moved on. I mean, I think sometimes I found Spain a little bit boring the way they played, Italy the way they played. But look at Italy the other night. I mean, it's like an international Man City. Italy are defensively solid, but then high pressing, high intensity. I'm really excited by Italy, and I hope that's not a one-off. DT or tying a watch-along. I don't think we'll ever be doing any stuff with any of them lot anymore, to be honest with you. The Guardian just posted an article saying that Wembley will be at 45,000 people for the semi-final and the final, just waiting on confirmation from UEFA, says JB Morris. Thanks very much for that. Of course, tomorrow, Hungary, full capacity. That's going to be so interesting to watch a game with a full capacity. Yeah, look at that cross that Olmo missed. Lindelof out of the equation again. Right back having to tuck in. Arsenal are currently top of the league, says M Beach. Oh, they reset the Premier League for the start of the season. Siggy Jonsson says there'll be 10,000 more at the Denmark next game. Yeah, I'm interested in that, whether it'll, expand. And that is, just wide. Just wide from, I think it was that, who was that for Spain? Don't know who put that wide. It was Koke. Sweden looking a right mess at the back at the moment. Just wide. It was quite far wide, actually. It was never going in. Does Man United have the best youth setup in the Premier League, says Matt Hunt? Probably not, actually. I think we're very good at promoting youth, or traditionally we're very good at promoting youth, but I don't know whether United have got the best youth setup. Man City's is very good. Chelsea's is very good. But United have got a very good traditions and got a very good one, but it dropped off a little bit, actually, about 10 years ago. When Sir Alex Ferguson left, it all went a bit wrong. I don't hate Sterling. I don't know why English fans supposedly do hate Sterling. I'm not a massive fan of England, so I don't really have any problems with any English players. I only really get into England in the World Cup and the Euros, but I don't mind Sterling. The thing for me is, I mean, I love Marcus Rashford. He's a United player, but you know, there are aspects of Sterling's game that I'd rather play him than Rashford, because Sterling's very used to that sort of ticky-tacky Man City way of playing, which I think is really, really important in international football. So, you know, Sterling, I don't mind Sterling. I don't understand why he gets a bad press, really. I tell you what, Sweden are absolutely dreadful on the ball. They don't move the ball quick enough. Not been impressed with Sweden in the start of this game at all so far. They've had numerous opportunities to play the ball up the pitch, and they're sideways FC. It's another cross into the box, and it's another problem for Sweden. I'd love Sterling to get that killer instinct against Toby MEFC. Well, he got it yesterday. Lindelof is poor. He's getting a few moans in there. Yeah, Ram, I've seen your message. Thanks, pal. You don't need to keep putting the same one in. Dream is to watch Mark and Craig doing a watch-along for Man United versus Liverpool. Well, I would happily do it, but I wouldn't do it on his channel. It'll have to be on mine. Do you think Leicester are locking down 4th? City, Chelsea, Liverpool top 3. United to struggle for 5th. If Ollie doesn't get a CDM, he'll be gone by Christmas, says Srinvasan. Anyway, it's another corner for Spain, and it comes from Koke. Sweden do get rid of it. But the press of Spain is impressive. They just can't get out. They can't get out. And he's given a free kick there. I don't know what Liverpool are going to do in the transfer market, but they'll definitely do stuff. Billy says, what's popping? Sweden are dreadful, says Gavin McCarthy. De Gea is number 2 for Spain. I don't know. They've got 3 goalkeepers. Druv says he hopes Spain win the tournament. Do I think they will? It's early days. It's early days. Did you fire Ricky, says Michael? I don't know why anybody thinks this has happened. I spoke to Ricky today, and it's not for me to disclose personal information about Ricky, but I know exactly what's going on there, and I've got absolutely no problems with Ricky. And we were talking about him coming on a show very soon, actually, but he's very busy through the Euros because of what he does. So yeah. People just want to make trouble out of something. But as I said today when I was on the stream with Rory, the worst people are the people who want a career in this arena, but then basically go around spreading lies about people and what is effectively bullying. But we know who that crew is, the bully crew. We know who they all are now, don't they? They've outed themselves. But no, Ricky's all right. I spoke to him today, so I said to him, a lot of people have been asking about him. Do I rate Portugal? You know what, Odron? I do like Portugal, and I'm looking forward to watching them tomorrow. I'm not going to start going there great because I don't watch Portugal that often. I just tend to see the goals from Bruno when he scores. So I'm looking forward to watching them tomorrow. Spain and Italy have got the best coaches at the Euros, shows by the pressing and organised structure, says Luke Ferns. Ollie does not start a lot of young players like Ahmed. I'm thinking if we get Sancho and has a bad game, he'll be on the bench for most of the season, says Red Baron. I don't think you can bench an £80 million player though, can you? Who's doing the watch-alongs tomorrow night, Mark? So that was something I did want to do, actually. Thanks very much. So this is quite exciting for me. So I'm just going to talk you through the next few games. So Hungary, Portugal, 5 o'clock tomorrow, doing that. France against Germany, I'm doing that. There's no 2 o'clock kickoff tomorrow. But they're back on Wednesday. 2 o'clock on Wednesday, it's Finland against Russia. And then at 5 o'clock, it's Turkey against Wales, which I'll be doing with Jordan, because he's Welsh. That'll be a good game, actually. Italy, Switzerland at 8 o'clock. I'm doing that with Alex Goldberg, who you might know as well from Twitter. So he's going to do that with me. We've then got on Thursday night, it's Denmark against Belgium. But there's a 2 o'clock game between Ukraine and North Macedonia. And then Netherlands against Austria at 8 o'clock on the night. So that's Thursday. And then Friday. Croatia against Czech Republic at 5 o'clock. England against Scotland at 8 o'clock. So that'll be a double header for that one. And Sweden are back playing on Friday against Slovakia, which I think will be a good game, that. Slovakia were good then. And then on Saturday, you've got Spain against Poland on Saturday night. Hungary against France on Saturday afternoon at 2 o'clock. And Portugal, Germany, a 5 o'clock kickoff. Looking forward to that. And then on Sunday, 2 games at 5 o'clock. Only 5 o'clock on Sunday. Italy, Wales, and Switzerland, Turkey, because it's the final games then, isn't it? So they kick off at the same time. So I'll have to get the old pad out for that. We'll have 2 scores on the screen. And then it's 5 and 8 o'clock kickoff. So yeah. So Saturday is the last day where there's 3 games a day. It moves quick. Enjoy it. Enjoy it. That's what I always say. It might be over quick, but just enjoy it while it lasts. But I hope England grow as the tournament goes on, because England can go head-to-head with Spain if Southgate lets off the handbrake a bit, says Mitchell Costello. Well, we beat Spain, didn't we? Sterling scored a hat-trick. Yeah, France versus Germany I'm doing with Craig tomorrow. And... yeah. Czech Republic looks like the dark horse, says Kieran Hayes. Yeah, I'm looking forward to watching Czech Republic against Croatia on Friday, actually, before the England game. I think that's going to be an interesting one. Yeah. Lindelof looks terrible. Get him out, says John. Even the Swedish don't want him to play. This goldometer. Well, we've had half an hour already. The goldometer says, and this is the worst one we've had yet at 0-0. Goldometer, I'm 80% sure that Spain are going to score the first goal. That's a massively high percentage. But I'm 80% sure that Spain are going to score the first goal. I was tempted to say 90%, but 0-0, and I'm 80% sure Spain are going to score the first goal. Because they're dominating the play. I suppose the only problem that they've got, and Koke should have scored again there. That's probably the chance of the game. That's a terrible, terrible, terrible miss, that, isn't it, really? He's got to score that. Isaac's getting no service, says Alfie Hurst. You're absolutely spot on. He's getting nothing. Please share the video if you're watching. We're getting close to 10,000 watching. Thanks everyone who's tuning in. We're doing every watch along on this channel. Big games now for the next couple of days. Very excited about Portugal-Hungary in a packed stadium. Bruno, Ronaldo, João Felix. I mean, I presume, will Bruno start tomorrow? I don't know how he'll put the team together, but Ruben Diaz as well. Yeah. So excited about that. And then France-Germany tomorrow night. What a game that's going to be. In the Allianz Arena in Munich. 25%. Is there any other grounds that are opening up more capacity during the tournament? Somebody mentioned that the Copenhagen Stadium is going to move up as well. Thanks for the super chat from Mark Whitten. Do you really think Joel Glazer watches all the United games? God, no. I bet he does highlights. like monthly highlights. BK says, could you please check Hungary's latest results? Well, I'll tell you what, are we all sleeping on Hungary? Is that the hint? And Spain again getting close, but no cigar. Hungary's recent results are as follows. 0-0 with Ireland. Bloody hell, they must be shit. 1-0 against Cyprus. 4-1 against Andorra. 3-0 against San Marino. Drew with Poland 3-3. Beat Turkey 2-0 in November. Drew with Serbia. Beat Iceland. Drew with Russia. Beat Serbia. Beat Bulgaria. Beat Turkey. But they did lose to Wales. I'm going back to 2019 now. But, I mean, they don't look terrible. But, you know, can they pull off a shock? I don't know. Apparently their best injured player is injured, says DC Plays. This is the sort of game, you know. I've got to be honest, I do like Sweden, but they're anti-football. They're proper boring. They really are, aren't they? They are so bad. I've always loved Sweden. Sorry, I was just reading something there that I was deciding whether to read it out. I mean, I think Sweden are going to pass out here. It's like an altitude test. They've literally just got into the Spanish half. I've not seen that much. Might as well bring on the Magic School Bus and park it in front of the Swedish goal, says Vignesh. And the problem for Hungary is it's not just a group of death. It's quite possibly the 3 strongest teams in the whole tournament. Yeah, they're on a hiding to nothing, Fergal. Hi, Mark. Who do you think will win between India and New Zealand? And who's your favourite Indian cricketer? I hope you're an RCB fan, says Shura. I don't watch cricket, mate, unfortunately. It's enough to be able to give you an answer there. McTominay can be our Scholes, Keane, Fletcher-esque player in the future. What's your opinion, Mark? Says Sam David. Stop drinking, Sam. That would be my thing to say. How grim are Sweden, says Nick P. Tom Heaton to Manchester United on a 2-year contract with an option for a third pending a medical. First big signing of the summer, says Fabrizio Romano Jr. It's not a big signing. It's an signing. What's your thoughts on Pedri, says IDK. Well, Sweden have won a corner here. You know what? If I know football like I think I know football, they'll go and bloody score from it. No, they didn't. Do you think that Ronaldo will have a good Euros? It might be his last. I love Ronaldo. I hope he does. I tell you what, though, we're not getting to see much of Pau Torres, are we? Because there's not a lot going on. Defensively, I thought they might, get Isaac on the road again, but no. Sweden are awful, says George Nichols. God Henke says, I can smell a Sweden 1-0 win. Well, stranger things have happened, but it's very Mourinho-esque, this. It's weird as well, because the thing that Sweden haven't done is that they've got this player up front who's... I mean, they're sort of playing a 4-4-2, aren't they? But they've got a player up front who's rapid and strong, and they've not once got him into the game. Here we go. This should be 1-0. Morata! Oh, he's missed it. He's bloody missed it. What a miss by Morata. Morata with a miss. Oh, Morata, he's got his Chelsea top on. What a miss. What a miss by Morata. Not Morata. I mean, that is shit. You know, if that's Harry Kane, I'm fuming. He's in 1-on-1. He's got time and he misses the target. You know, he's not got no excuse. He's the number 9. If you were having what's that? If you're hanging off a cliff and only Phil Jones was there to help you, but you had to make him with the club captain, would you expend your hands or would you jump off? Says Subbo. Come on. Is Lindelof called the Iceman because he plays alongside a fridge at United, says Ryan Alex. I don't know. I don't even like the Iceman thing for Lindelof. But it should be 1-0. And I wish it was 1-0 because it would have opened the bloody game up. Sweden are just going to think it's our day. It's our day. Let's keep defending. But we feared it before the game. We said, have Spain got the quality in the final third? And ultimately, no. They haven't. Timo Morata. So hard on... it's so hard on Timo. What is it about Chelsea strikers flopping, though? Shevchenko didn't... How many tens of millions have Chelsea spent on flop strikers? I don't know what it is. It must be something about the grass or something like that. Shevchenko wasn't cheap, didn't work out. Fernando Torres wasn't cheap, didn't work out. Morata didn't work out. Werner's not working out at the moment. They don't have a great record, do they? Ferran Torres. I keep wanting to call him Pau Torres, even though I know it's not him. Higuain, another one. Mark, do you think England could play with a 4-3-3 formation, says Joel? I think England could play with a lot of formations. I think that's what it's going to be the downfall of Spain for this tournament. They don't have a number 9, says Vigna. Is there anybody in Spanish football who's a good number 9? I know they've got that Moreno. Isn't he the Getafe forward? But yeah, then. But I've spoken about this a few times. I said this this afternoon when we was watching the Czech Republic Scotland game. I think there's a bit of a lack of top quality strikers in football at the moment. You know, Man City are looking for one. Chelsea are looking for one. I watched a lot of games last season. He plays for Villarreal. Sorry, of course he does. I knew we played him in the Europa League. Thoughts on upcoming striker Connor Campagna? And here's Isaac. Oh, good block. Oh, go. Oh God. Oh my life, Isaac. He's had more bites of the cherry there than somebody who likes cherries. He really should have scored. Look, he's in the box. He's trying to get his shot off. And he does get his shot off. And it hits the defender on the line and comes out. Really unlucky. Really unlucky. That was the chance for Sweden. He should have buried that, says Liam Cartwright. I thought he was going to, and he didn't. Alexander Isak, the threat for Sweden on the break, and he finally got in there. Laporte was in all sorts of trouble. Laporte did not deal with it well. And maybe that's a warning sign now. Good tackle there. I'd like to see that again. I like Isaac. Hit the defender, then hit the post, says Thomas Webster. Yeah, the big problem with Spain is that they don't have a winger, do they? So they don't have a scorer. They haven't got a goal scorer. And that, as I said, I think there's a bit of a lack of those in world football at the moment. You see a lot of teams very good on the ball, and then they really are, struggling to score goals. Fernando Torres was a very good number 9. He's probably my favourite Spanish striker because he had the lot: height, strength, speed. Good turn by Morata. Wanted a penalty there. It's not going to be given. Spain need to start going through the gears a bit here. 2 big chances. There should be a goal in this game, says Vignesh. Oh, there will be a goal. There will be a goal. But I tell you what, that would have been a cat amongst the pigeons because my goldometer says 80% chance of the first goal going to Spain, 20% to Sweden, and Sweden nearly did do it. My Swedish heart is screaming for United to get Isaac, says Godhanky. Well, whenever I think about songs and Swedish, it's hard not to think about Roxette or ABBA. But it looks like it's going to be 0-0 at half time. Shot from distance. That will be a corner to Spain. Of a stretch, yes. Steve Lebo, I mean, look, I can never give you the answer to this, but Steve Lebo says, curious how many players come to United then get dropped by their national team since coming to United versus how many get calls up. João Pedro says, Mark Moreno plays for Villarreal and he scored against you in the Europa League final. Why have you forgotten that? Well, I wonder why I might have wiped that away. I don't remember scorers against my team. Some of them I do, but some of them I don't. Shot from distance, good shot. Oh, cleared away. Olsen's been busy, but ultimately he's not conceded. They haven't even shown the replay of the Isaac shot. It's really annoying, that is. Oh, he could have gone down there. Could have been a penalty. Why didn't he go down? Strong play. And he's giving the foul. Can anyone top Ukraine's group stage goal yesterday, says Matt Hunt. Where have you been, Matt? Isaac's ability to updog the defence really impresses me, says Jan Brown. And hi, Mark. Can you call Angus McIntyre a prat, says Josh Lingford. The Ukraine goal yesterday has already been upstaged if you haven't watched the Czech Republic game. The goal by Schick was the goal of the tournament. Yeah, I didn't think that Yarmolenko goal would get overshadowed so quickly, but the Schick goal is definitely goal of the tournament. Unbelievable. Mark, thoughts on Tyson Fury fighting back from the brink of suicide? Thomas Webster. Well, it's fantastic, isn't it, to show that that bounce back ability and mental strength to do that. We've all got our battles. Pedri is so good, says Aaron, and I like. You know what? I know Schick's second goal was good, but I loved his first goal. What a cross, gets above 2 centre backs and scores. What a header that is. It's a dying art, headers. I take it Ansu Fati is not part of this squad for Spain. He's not on the bench anyway. Is he injured, is he? And that's half time. Stop the clock. Stop the clock. Half time. So stop the clock. What do you want us to talk about at half time? Because there's not a hell of a lot to talk. Oh, here we go. Isaac here. Shoots. Hits the defender. Hits the post. I mean, to be honest, let's watch this. Was the shot actually going in that hits the defender? It was going wide. It would have been. That would have been. You know what? It's always good to watch the replay because that would have been a lucky goal because Isaac's shot was going wide, hits the defender and hits the post. So yeah. Ansu Fati is injured, and he's. How was McTominay against the Czechs. I didn't watch it. He wasn't terrible, was he? I don't think McTominay was terrible, but he wasn't very good either. I thought Schick's first goal was great. He was marked by multiple defenders, but still got his header away on target. Vignesh Ram. Yeah, if you were at work today or school today and you didn't watch the Czech Republic against Scotland, that is a game where it's really well worth watching the highlights because they were absolutely fantastic goals. Really, really, really good. Got up there, headed it in on the first one, and then virtually from the halfway line on the second one, and it was so the way he hit it was brilliant. Thomas says, I've been inspired by Tyson Fury's story that I decided to speak out about my problems and I feel a lot better. Good. Well, you should always speak out your problems, Thomas, because that's part of the journey for many people who suffer with depression or mental health, is that to not box it up and to let people know, as hard as that can be. Spain has nice tactics, but they don't have the players, says Rivers. Yeah, the summary of that first half is that Sweden, very dull, very, very park in the bus. And, their Volvo bus. Do Volvo make buses? I don't know, but they definitely are parking the bus. Spain, very much dominant on the ball, but missing out on a clinical number 9. And that chance that fell to Morata, he should be scoring that. So, look, we've only had half of the game with Spain, but I think that they are in missing, and I don't see them winning the tournament based on that, because I think it's very clear that they haven't got a number 9. Hi Mark, do you know Isaac is originally from Eritrea near Ethiopia? Says Philemon, and I didn't know that, so thank you very much. He did really well to get the shot away, says Elijah. And Morata is the Spanish Werner. Yeah, well, we've got Germany against France tomorrow night. Scotland's Euros lasted a day, says Dylan Wright. And Spain only striker Ansu Fati clinical but is injured, says Unknown. And Mark, would you take Busquets at United? He's old but still got it. No, man, I wouldn't. I'd love to see Spain versus Italy. One player I did want to talk about, there's a lack of topics for us to talk about at half time, which I always quite like to do. So just fire the questions in and we'll just go through the good questions. Sweden goalkeeper's done well, says King TM. Rashford apparently has got a back injury. I don't know whether that's true or false. I mean, he's been injured for a while now. Spain have Gerard Marino, but Enrique prefers Morata as he is a good presser, says Scooby. And thoughts on the Paul versus Floyd fight? Well, it was just Hollyoaks. It was a script. Is it only me that finds it funny when a player expects to score and starts turning their head away from the goal to celebrate before it goes in, but then it doesn't go in, says Chino. I can't say that I've ever really noticed that, but I just want to talk about Mbappe. I want to talk about a couple of transfers in the world of football, because there are, the Euros are everything at the moment and everyone's focused on that, but we have got this backdrop of Jadon Sancho, which he will come to Manchester United and it may well get announced this week. But that will not be the end of it. There's going to be some really, really big transfers happening this summer. One of the players, there's three players I want to talk about really, that I think that probably will move. So my question is, where do you think they will go? Kylian Mbappe. Where do you think Kylian Mbappe is going to go? Do you think he's going to stay up at PSG? He dropped a few hints a couple of days ago about, potentially moving on. Where do you think Kylian Mbappe is going to go? Where do you think Cristiano Ronaldo is going to go? And also, what do you think is going to happen with Harry Kane? Did Scotland miss Kieran Tierney today, Ewan Black? Was he, I don't know, was he injured? I mean, their best two players are probably their left backs. Did anyone notice Laporte switched nationality? Says I. Well, it's interesting because I actually always thought Laporte was Spanish, and then everyone used to tell me he was French, but now he plays for Spain. Mbappe to Liverpool, says Vignesh. Well, I'm glad you said that, because that's sort of what I was alluding to. I don't see where Mbappe will go, and a few people are saying they think he will stay. Real Madrid is obviously an obvious one for Mbappe, but where are Real Madrid getting this money from? Like, Real Madrid are not a club with a lot of money. So I did a video on the United stand earlier about Varane wanting to go to PSG, and it just got me thinking, I wonder if Real Madrid and PSG will try and do some sort of money plus players deal for Mbappe. So maybe there's something in that. Ronaldo, I think, will move, and he sort of hinted at that in the interview he did before this Portugal game. And I think a lot of that is to do with the fact that Juventus want him to move, because they can't afford to keep him for what he delivers. So I think that, Varane to PSG, if you've not watched the United Stand video, give it a watch. It's in the first few minutes of that as well. So I do think Ronaldo will move, and it feeds into what I was saying there. I think if Mbappe leaves, Ronaldo goes to PSG, which won't stop Varane going to PSG because he used to play with Ronaldo. So I can see Ronaldo going to PSG and Mbappe leaving. Fate's injury is the same as Van Dijk's, as Thomas Webster. Thank you for that. Thanks for Joshua. Please subscribe, by the way, because we're very close to 426,000 the last time I checked. So bottom right-hand corner to subscribe. Appreciate that. And Jay has just messaged me. He's massively supporting the Spanish because he used to live in Spain. He says this is men versus boys. If it was a boxing match, the ref would stop it on cuts. Well, they hit the post, though. You should have scored yourselves. You should have scored yourselves. Yeah, please subscribe, bottom right-hand corner. We're doing both watch-alongs tomorrow. Well, I'm doing both watch-alongs tomorrow, and I've got Craig guesting with me tomorrow night for that one. Mbappe will not go to Liverpool. No, I don't think Liverpool can do it like that. E-Wright says his contract's running out. If Mbappe wants to leave, he will. Well, of course, that brings the price down. That's what I was meaning. If Real Madrid wanted to do a Varane for Mbappe deal with a bit of money, they'd probably only have to give about 50 million plus Varane. So he has only got 1 year left on his deal. So yeah. What about Mbappe to Bayern, says Enric? Have they got the money to do a deal like that? I think that would be the hard thing there. And Harry Kane, where do we think Harry Kane's going to go then? So this is only a theory. Mbappe goes to Real Madrid with Varane going to PSG, and then PSG buy Ronaldo. Let's see if that happens. I don't think Ronaldo would go to Inter Miami. He's too good. Messi and Ronaldo are too good to walk away from the high level of football. Yeah, they're too big. Harry Kane's a difficult one. He will definitely stay in England. I suppose the issue with Harry Kane is that who buys Harry Kane? Because he's Man City never seem to do these deals where it's over like 70 million and they'll need 150 million. He can't go to Chelsea because surely Chelsea wouldn't sell him. And they're showing the highlights of the Czech Republic game here, actually. And I don't think he wants to leave England. So I don't really know where Harry Kane will go because they don't normally have the sort of money to do it. I actually wouldn't be surprised if he ended up at Manchester United. And Chris Morton's just said, "Hi Mark, hope you well. I think Kane is going to Man United." I know that Man United want a striker, and I know that they really like Harry Kane, and I know that Harry Kane would like to come to Manchester United. But the waste of money to do that would piss me right off. You know, we need a centre defensive midfielder more than we need Harry Kane, so that would annoy me. But Ollie, as I've said numerous times on the United stand, is absolutely obsessed with buying a striker. So it wouldn't surprise me. Thanks to Vandy Candy, who's one of our moderators today. Appreciate that. And Susan Brandon as well. Mark, thoughts on Mbappe Giroud fight? Don't know anything about it, Jay. Kane ain't joining United, and that is a fact, says FBF. But no, what I wanted to say is, though, I do think that, you know, we're all enjoying the Euros massively. But I do think there's going to be a massive amount of high-level transfers happening in July. I think the last couple of years have been rather quiet, apart from Chelsea last summer. But I think this year we're going to see some really big deals because I think there was a few clubs last year that were waiting because of COVID that can't wait anymore. Martin's mentioned Haaland because he's on holiday with Mahrez, but you do realise that loads of footballers end up on holiday together, and especially now because with COVID the way it is, you can't go on holiday to lots of places. So there it is again. What a finish! What a goal by Schick! It's just unbelievable, unbelievable goal. And he looks like Wilney, but look at that. The way he hits that, it's just magnificent. Absolutely magnificent. Haaland was on a party with Mahrez. Yes, he was. Vignesh says, Harry Kane's United would be a disaster. Our midfield is so dead. Kane will be starved of any service. Haaland to Chelsea. Hey, mate, you know what? We've mentioned Ronaldo, we've mentioned Mbappe, we've mentioned Harry Kane. We haven't mentioned Paul Pogba. That he's going to run his contract down. I'm convinced by that. So there might be a last-minute offer for him. We haven't mentioned Haaland. If Chelsea want to buy him, they'll buy him. Simple as that. So yeah, it's. I think there's going to be some big deals in July, some really big deals, because I don't think these teams are going to mess around. And the thing is, you can say Man City are going to buy a striker, but Chelsea are definitely going to buy a striker. It's going to be interesting to see who they go for. YUFC says Torres, Morata, Werner. What do they have in common? They were scoring goals prior to Chelsea, so strikers beware. Yeah, Chelsea do have a bit of a striker's curse going on. Confirmed Kane's going to Arsenal. I mean, he's got more. You know what? I almost feel sorry for Arsenal because, let's be honest, there's more chance of Harry Kane going to Everton than there is of him going to Arsenal. And that's not just because of the rivalry. It's because Arsenal just don't have that sort of a pull or money, do they? Arito says, I'm unfortunately unable to watch the game, but how has Paul Torres been? You know what? Paul Torres' watch has sort of disappeared, hasn't it? Because Sweden have not done anything. Why was the Scottish keeper so high up the pitch anyway? I'm just watching that goal back for Schick. Why was the Scottish keeper so high up the pitch? Had he taken a kick or something? He must have maybe just taken a kick. But he was miles off his line. Yeah, he must have just taken a kick or something like that. How about Lindelof? Jack says, wow, Lindelof, isn't he? He's terrible under a cross. Absolutely terrible under a cross. That's what I'd say about that. Please subscribe, by the way, bottom right-hand corner, and share the video. You're all very welcome. We're about to kick off for the second half here. And it's been a little bit disappointing in the sense that I think we really do need a goal in this game. We really do need a goal in this game. But we should have had a goal. There was chances. Morata had a good chance. Should have scored, maybe. Didn't take it. Jay says, Sweden have been chasing shadows. Watch the space open up after 70 minutes. Well, there you go. And you know what, though? We've seen a lot of games like this where it's 0-0 at half-time, but there's clearly a better side. And then in the second half, it just comes home to roost. And we saw that with Italy on the opening night, so maybe we'll see that again. DJ says, what's your thoughts on Pedri? Look, he looks like a good player, but it's difficult, isn't it? Because the way Sweden are playing, they're not opening up. They really are just trying to soak up pressure and hit on the break. Spain is so boring to watch, says Azim. And Coop Miners to United, says Yusuf. I think he's going to Atalanta. Spurs will force Kane to stay at Spurs because of what Levy has priced him at. No one is going to pay 130 million marks, says Advath. The thing about Harry Kane is that I always found interesting is that he's openly sort of saying that he wants to go. So that always makes me think that there must be an offer out there for him. What was for T Mark, says Dan's coaching, football and personal training. Dan's Siney, coaching, football and personal training. What was for tea? Rice and salmon with a lovely sort of soy sauce on it. It was very, very nice, actually. Sports Hive, please can you give us a shout out, as it would be massively appreciated. Massive shout out for Sports Hive. Thank you very much for the super chat. Big up Sports Hive. This match looks like Spain versus emptiness. The reason why it's still 0-0 is because Spain attack looked like he's asking for a divine intervention, says Leslie Lai. Okay. Pedri is the best under 20 in the world, and Liverpool will have a different transfer window to everyone else. It's annoying how many Liverpool fans think there will be a big transfer, 8x max. There won't. Liverpool make great players, not buy them. But you bought Salah, you bought Mane, you bought Van Dijk, you bought Alisson, you bought Fabinho. If you own Chelsea, do you buy Kane or keep waiting? Matt Hunt. I think Harry Kane at Chelsea would be perfect, but I just don't think it can happen because he's too expensive, and he's a Chelsea player. He's a Spurs player. James Holland says, "Who are the bully crew?" Oh, if you can't figure that out, I'm not going to tell you. Thoughts on Palestri's development? What's your first half assessment to this match? Says Carson Badley. Boring. Needs a goal. Morata should have scored. Isaac should have scored. Spain have dominated the play. The players are coming back out on the pitch now. But realistically, a little bit disappointed in Spain. Massively disappointed with Sweden and their approach. A very limited side, Sweden. Very limited side. Not very expressive. Maybe it's because they're scared of Spain. Maybe, But I would have expected better from Sweden. But they're still in the game. My goldometer is 80%. 80% that Spain will score the next goal. 20% that it will be Sweden. So yeah, here we go for the second half. We're about to kick off. Let me get the timer ready for you. What was my score prediction? I predicted 2-1. Well, I don't know about that. All love from Saudi. Would you take Lampard as England manager? Says Salah. He played a young Chelsea team. I would take Lampard over Southgate. I don't rate Southgate. I've said that before. I'll say it again. But look, maybe Southgate can prove us wrong. But I think he's the wrong manager for the talent that we've got. But hopefully I can be wrong. I certainly don't think he's going to have... I don't think he's going to have anyone to hide. Because we are going to end up playing Germany, France or Portugal in the next round. Hi Mark, can we have a shout out please? Says ARM Squire. Of course you can. ARM Squire, big shout out. Thanks for the super chat. Second half is always good, says Wolf Oz. Yeah, the second half in the Euros so far has been really good, hasn't it? Please subscribe, by the way, bottom right hand corner. I don't know whether we've hit 426k. I'll have a look in a minute. But you're all welcome on here 12 months of the year, not just for the Euros. That's football's not just for the Euros. It's a bit like saying a pet's not just for Christmas. That's football's not just for the Euros. We're here all year. Lots of content. And there'll be a lot of transfer chat in July. Because as I said, I think it's going to be a big transfer window in July. So we'll cover that as well. Subscribe, bottom right hand corner. Everybody's welcome. Doesn't matter who you support. You're very, very welcome. Second half FC Euros. Somebody just said the Euros are like Man United. Second half FC. Yeah, they're a little bit like that. But Sweden are the attack here, but keeper's there to get it. Have you seen that? There was an I've just seen this on Twitter. So Calvin Phillips played fantastically well on Sunday, didn't he? And there's an article today in the paper saying the making of Calvin Phillips, England's latest football hero. His Irish mum had to sleep on the family sofa. He had the same girlfriend since he was 11, and his Jamaican dad is in prison as he takes Euro 2020 by storm. Why do we need to know his background and everything like that? And what's that got any relevance to do with the fact that he played fantastically well and was man of the match for England yesterday? Why do people have to delve into people's past like that and start making it relevant? It's a worrying trait with this this press. I'm not talking about the Spanish press and the game. I'm talking about the British press and the way that they just go digging into everyone's personal life. It's wrong, really. Really is wrong. Cross comes in. Sweden, I tell you what, Sweden have started the second half a little bit Corner. Oh, goal kick. It went off Lindelof. Thought it was going to be a corner there. I can smell sun cream, and then I remembered it's me. Well, got a member here. Welcome, RILJS. Welcome to the Members Club. Thanks for joining there, mate. Isaac's coming alive, says Vignesh. Hi, Mark. I'm finally able to do super chats. I've been watching your content for 3 years, says Sanduk. Thank you very much for that. Spain with another bit of a chance here. Morata. Oh, God. Couldn't hit the ocean from a boat so far. You can't hit the target. Azza says, how is Morata still considered Spain's best striker? I'm 16. Is that too young to get on the United stand, says MUFFC. And Spain really misses a clinical striker. Morata is trash and their defence does not convince me, says my big Melons. Trippier bid. Oh, I'm not taking a notice of Gazzetta dello Sport, mate. I told you, when it comes to transfer news, we're in silly season. And you can't just take every bit of... What I always find funny about the transfer window is that people will start quoting the Daily Star or ESPN and saying that they're accurate. Yeah, any other time of the year, they'll be like, they're full of shit. So, you know, stick to what's credible and you can't go far wrong. I've never been to Sweden, Vigo, but I would love to go to Sweden. I've never been to, like, that area of the world, and I would love to go to, like, Sweden or Norway, Iceland. Not the freezer place that sells cheap crap. I mean, the country Iceland. I'd just like to go there. I don't know what it is about Sweden. Answer the guy's question, Moo. We would have people. We've had people on the United stand who are, you know, 16, 17 before. But if you want to be presenting and stuff, I think that, you know, I wouldn't say no. But it's you've got to be you know, I think you've got to be. I would suggest being 18 or over, because I think that to come into this world and, you know, be a presenter on a YouTube channel, and especially the size of something like the United stand, the amount of shit you're going to get, it's just, I'd feel there's, you know, there's got to be some sort of safeguarding for people there, to be honest. But, you know, I think on a fan forum or something like that, it'd be fine. Mason Scott says, what's the goldometer saying? I'm still 80% that Spain will score the first goal. But to be honest with you, I think this game needs a goal, because Sweden will become more and more confident the more they shut Spain out, and Spain will become more and more desperate. As I said, this game would not surprise me if Sweden won it 1-0. Cross comes in. I think there's been a bit of an update on the Sancho thing. Basically, from I think it's James Ducker, who's the Telegraph, who is pretty good, and he's saying that. What did he say? Man United are haggling over the 95 million fee for Sancho, but confidence still reigns that a deal can be done, which is where we've been for about 3 weeks, really. I just was looking on Twitter why Paul Ince was... oh dear. Yeah, I get it now. Paul Ince trending on Twitter, and then there's just loads of people like who aren't Paul Ince saying I'm Paul Ince, and I think it's to do with Sky Sports putting up something about Paul Ince where it isn't Paul Ince. Oh dear. So we've had 8 minutes of this second half, very much like the first half. You know what? You don't want games like this in the tournament. This is what fans fear in the tournament, is the dull, boring game. Nobody wants that, because the fantastic thing about the World Cup on the Euros is that, you know, we're all in this position at the moment, is that we're all watching games we'd never normally watch. I mean, who sits and watches Slovakia, Poland any other time than the Euros or the World Cup? Nobody does. So you kid yourself that you've got to watch, you'll be telling people, I've got to watch Spain versus Sweden. I've got to. Monday night, 8 o'clock, I've got to watch it. I've got to watch it. But we don't want 0-0 crap games. MUFC 34535. Are you going to go through the clips? What clips? Foul there. Free kick to Spain. Irish guy absolutely dissed you, says Vida. I don't know what you're talking about. You can't be dissed if you don't know that you've been dissed. You think outlets recycle Sancho news, says Ryan Lowe. 100%. 100%. If I was a journalist working for... I'm not even going to name the outlets, but if I was a journalist working for some of these outlets now, I would be writing an article now saying United are imminently close to signing Sancho as they battle it out with Dortmund to come to an agreement over a fee. Am I lying? Yes. I've got no sources, but is it the truth? Probably. Is anyone ever going to check it? No. That's how it works, people. That's how it works. Boring game in a boring and dull stadium, so bland, says Dane Grayson. It wasn't meant to be here, though, was it? It was meant to be in Bilbao. Didn't Zlatan come out of retirement for Sweden, says Surab? He did, and then he didn't get picked, and I think it was to do with the injury that kept him out of the... Well, actually, United played Milan ages ago. That have been sent into the email, says MUFC345. I have been going through the clips, yeah, but... there's quite a few to go through. Graham Bolger says, can you call my girlfriend a twat? I can't call your girlfriend a twat. I can call her a prat, Graham. He loves the show, but you can't say that. Can we get Zlatan on a watch-along? Yeah, funnily enough, he's going to be on tomorrow for Hungary against Portugal. Casey says, I've just turned the game on. How's Lindelof look so far? Like Lindelof, crap on crosses, bit like Dracula. That's literally what you do, says one tag. Mark, your work ethic is almost as good as Fred's, says Archie. I don't know whether that's a good thing or a bad thing. Who would you take from these Sweden and Spain teams? Advath, we should have been doing that by now. We've missed a trick there. So I normally do that on this channel when we're doing like Premier League watch-alongs. I'll say one player I take from each team for United. So that's a really good question. So what one player would you take from Sweden and Spain for your club? Because you might, not everyone's going to be a United fan. From Sweden, I would probably take Isaac. I think he's their best player by a very long way. So I would take Isaac from Sweden, and I think also United could do with a striker like that. Will we sell a defender if we sign a new centre back? Says Ben Sayers. Probably Twan Sebi will leave. From Spain, who would I take from Spain? You know what? I'd probably take Rodri from Spain because he's just that CDM who would take the ball off the back four. So I'd probably take Rodri, yeah. Mark, we need to pump this game up. I would take Isaac and Rodri, says Vignesh. High five. Great minds. I'll take what United need. We need a centre back or a CDM. So MUFC 3V says I'd take Lorente as CDM. Here's Pedri. Jordi Alba. Back into Pedri. Struggling to break down Sweden here. Richard Moon says he'd take Thiago and Isaac. Obviously, Thiago's on the bench. Here's Pedri again. Switches it wide to Albert. They'll work the cross here. He's not quick enough. Closed it down. No, he didn't. And he messes it up. And it goes for a throw-in to Sweden. Is that the real trophy? Says Scott. Yeah. Yeah. We didn't get the TV rights, but we got the trophy for the first week of the tournament. The second week of the tournament, it's going to Pieface. Calvin Nia says, thank you for the super chat. Thank you very much. Welcome to the Members Club, Brian Wu. Thank you very much. Laporte says, Elvin. Ehab says, I would take Dejan Kuleszewski and Lorente from Spain, says Ehab. I was reading about that today, actually. Kulewski is a very, very good player. Obviously not playing tonight because they had positive COVID tests. I think there's another player, I can't remember his name, for Sweden. But they're missing, aren't they? But they may well be playing in the latter rounds. Isaac. Loads of Spain players back. Too many. Still does well. Oh, what a miss on the back post. Isaac works wonders. So many Spanish players around him, works his way through, puts the cross to the back post, and Harry Kane-like Berg misses the target. But look at Isaac here. He's got so many players around him. Look at what he does to Pau Torres as well. Oh, dear. That was very good. Well, I mean, a few people saying Torres looks a bit... My issue with Pau Torres, and I keep getting told I'm wrong, he doesn't look mobile enough. It just doesn't look mobile enough to me. But people keep telling me he's really fast. And I think he was actually the quickest player in Liga, wasn't he? But mobility isn't always about speed, though, is it? It can be about, you know, your body movement and stuff in tight spaces. Andy SAFC says, I've never seen a team that misses so many sitters. I've never seen a TV station that doesn't want to show you the replays of the opposition missing. I said Isaac would be a player to keep an eye on. Have you recruited any of the good clips yet? You said on United Stand that there were some standouts as pro gamer. There's too many pro at the moment. Unfortunately, we can't reply. We could reply to everybody, but I don't believe in a CC copy and paste. It's impersonal. But so we've had so many that we just can't reply to everybody. But there's been some cracking ones in there. And there's a couple that we quite like, but there's still more to go through. So it's a bit like trials, isn't it? We've got a couple at the moment that we quite like the look of, but they might not you know, we might not take anyone. Mark is definitely the Spanish Lindelof, says Mark Dobby. When will Cooking with Goldbridge be back, says Travis? It'll be back as soon as I've got the time to do it, mate. You know, it's a bit like FIFA and everything at the moment. Although I did really enjoy my Twitch chat last night. Did anyone tune in for that? Goldbridge TV, Euro Rap chat at 11 o'clock last night. Doing another one tomorrow night. So join me for that. But it was good. Just chatting. Isaac plays for Real Sociedad. No, he doesn't. No, he doesn't. Yes, he does. Yes, he does. Yeah, lots of people saying that they enjoyed the Twitch chat last night. I think Sweden are coming more into this. You know what? You know, I was 80% sure that Sweden were going to score, Spain were going to score the first goal. I'd say I'm 70%, which is still high, but it just shows you that it's swinging a little bit more to Sweden at the moment. Yeah, but as I was saying before, Sweden have got a couple of players who are missing because of COVID, one of which is considered to be one of their best sort of players, the Juventus lad, isn't he? But I don't really know too much about the two players that are missing and whether they'll be back playing, but I suppose I don't know, whether they would be starters for Sweden, but here's Morata, keeps it in. No, he doesn't. Pratt, get Morata off. As a Chelsea fan, I'm curious who would take from the Chelsea. Who would you take to Chelsea from each team? Cannon. Well, I would take Isaac because I think he's better than any strikers that you've got. And for Chelsea, I don't know what Chelsea are looking for, really. Are you looking for a good centre-back? Maybe Laporte? Where is Morata on the goalometer? Minus. A couple of subs here. Morata comes off. I told you. Sarabia comes on. PSG lad. So what are they going to do now? Play a false 9? Because Sarabia is not a number 9, is he? I fancy Sweden to get out of the group. They'll beat Poland. And if they get a point here, 4 points will be enough. Thoughts on Pau Torres? Shane? Oh, you know what? I'll be honest with Pau Torres. The jury's out on me because I don't want Pau Torres at United. I think it's an admission that we failed, and it's not even his fault. But I know for a fact that Pau Torres wasn't in the top 3 choices. So if United are getting Pau Torres, we're getting a 4th or 5th choice again, and that's why we fail. Really, we don't go out and get the right sort of players. But good. Oh no, it's broken down again. Sweden been much better this second half. Isaac's actually owned by Dortmund, says Chris Mitchener. Didn't know that. And Per Eric Klassen says, right now I'm 80% sure there'll be no goals in this game at all. Oh, we don't want our first 0-0. We do not want our first 0-0. Thiago's come on as well. And here's a double substitution for Sweden. Substitutions are going to be very big in this tournament. 5 substitutes you can make. Long season. I think if Spain score, it'll be over, yeah. Here's Olmo. Alba. Out to Pedri. Back to Alba. Big yellow wall in front. Switch of the play by Thiago. Cross comes in from Llorente. Not on a very good one. Big header. Lindelof headers it away. And a wide shot by Olmo. On this form, I've got to agree with Duarte, who says this Spanish team is a bit average. Quaison and Klassen coming on here for Sweden. Apparently Tales has gone to number 9, says Vignesh. Svenberg comes off. Sorry, Marcus Berg comes off for Quaison. Big chance. They haven't really shown it back. It was a big chance. And who else is coming off? Klassen comes on for Isaac. Bloody hell. Can't believe it. What are they doing? What's he took Isaac off for? That is a stunning thing to do. I tell you what, I bet Spain's defence are like, wow. Well, you know, we all talk about coaching, and I'm like, unless he's not quite fit or something, it's a bit of a weird move, that. I mean, I genuinely, you know, you're 0-0 against Spain with 20 minutes to go, and the one player that's really causing them problems, you take it back. You take him off. I don't know. Maybe the front. He's basically changed his front too, hasn't he? He's put Klaassen and Quazan on, and you know, maybe they're a bit more mobile. I don't know, but I'm Swedish and I'm so mad right now. Why are only good players subbed out? Says Nicholas. Well, I'm glad we've got some Swedish interaction here, because I've got no bloody idea why you would do that. And if Spain go and get a goal now, I just don't make any sense. Klaassen is a midfielder as well, says Alexander. Playing for the draw. Yeah, sweet. So talk to me. These two lads that have got COVID, are they first teamers? This Juventus lad and the other lad, are they first teamers? Or is this basically Sweden's best side? Mark, do you think Wales have a chance against Turkey? There's always a chance, Joel. There's always a chance. And I think they're happy with a point, Mark. Weird, says Vignesh. A point from Spain is decent, Liam, but I felt they were starting to get control of it. Apparently both the lads who've got COVID are first teamers. Kulevski is a first teamer, and he's our best player. Yeah, Pedri used to play for my United team on the FIFA, yeah. Here's Olmo on the left. Please subscribe, by the way, bottom right-hand corner. You're very welcome on the channel, and everybody's welcome. It's for everybody. That's football. I was just looking around on social media, actually. Isaac's getting a lot of mentions, and to be fair, we spoke about him on the preview for the Euros, and I spoke about him before the game as well. I know a lot of you did as well. You know, he is a player that I said keep an eye out in this tournament. I think that he's actually potentially a breakout player from the tournament. Yeah. I mean, you know, at the moment, you've got to say Schick is doing quite well, but I do think that Isaac's one of those players that, you know, a bit like Calvin Phillips in that game yesterday. Doesn't mean they're going to be the best player. You're not necessarily the best player when you're a breakout player, but he's a player that, you know, could very much be looking at a move. The interesting thing about Alexander Isak as well is he's only 21. It's only 21. So he could be a real breakout star player. I could see him at Barcelona or something like that, you know. Tell you what, Spain would love to have him. That's exactly what Spain haven't got. A really exciting number 9. Little dink here. Cross comes in. He's got loads of time. Dani Olmo, go behind. Oh, he's gone for the shot. Pedri was behind him. He's had a few opportunities, Dani Olmo, as well. If you're Irish, who are you supporting, by the way? You know, I do feel the need that we need... You know, there's lots of Irish fans who watch United stand and love their football, and they'll be watching this. Who are you supporting in the Euros if you're Irish? Or if you're, you know, you might be Brazilian, you might be Indian, you might be African. Well, you're not African, are you? Because that's like saying you... Well, no, you can be African because I'm a European, but... I just don't want to go through each individual country in Africa. But who are you supporting? Who are you supporting if your country is not in the tournament? Who are you supporting? Jake Sullivan says anybody who plays England. Yeah. Portugal, says Ben Coffey. France, says Dakshi. Italy, says Matthew Allen. Lots of Portugals, actually. Every team that's got a Man United player, says Ihab. A few France. Sadly, Scotland, says CCCC. Czech Republic, says Ty. I'm an Indian supporting England, says Vignesh. Good. Thank you. So quite a good range in there. A lot of Portugals and Frances, to be honest. Supporting France is like supporting Man City, though. I think they are very, very clearly the hot favourites. There's an injury here. I would love to see Germany beat France tomorrow, though. Just to put a cat amongst the pigeons. Just to be like, oh, they're not a machine. They're a man. They're not a machine. What film's that from? He's a man. He's not a machine. He's a man. He's cut. He's cut. The Russians cut. And it's a bad cut. It's Rocky. Rocky 4. What a film. What a 4. Written in the stars, a million miles away. I haven't watched Rocky 4 in a few years. I love it. I love Rocky 4. Call this cheeky, but Hungary make it out okay, says Landon. I think he means they're going to get out of the group. Well, 15 minutes to go here, and Sweden might be getting the only people celebrating this result, because a 0-0 in a Euros is not what anybody wants to see, is it? Nobody wants to see a 0-0. It's coming home. It's coming home. It's coming home. England against Scotland. I'm gonna tell you what. I'm a lot more comfortable about that. I'm looking forward to that Scotland game, and I loved having the fan park next to me yesterday for the England game, and I can confirm that we will have that fan park again. If you didn't see it, I really enjoyed it. I didn't really get any feedback on the fan park. Who watched the England Watchalong yesterday with the fan park that I had in the corner? Did you like the fan park? I did. I thought for me, it might not have been everyone's cup of tea, but it was nice for me when I was looking at the screen to see. I felt like I was part of something. It was. Because it can get a bit lonely in the studio. I mean, I've got the chat, but I liked it. It was pretty cool. It ain't coming home. It's going out after the groups, says Sean Turner. Thanks. So, yeah, they'll be back on Friday. Every England game, we're going to have the fan part, which is cool. So hopefully we'll have quite a few of that. And hopefully as the tournament builds, it'll become more bigger. But excited to see Messi tonight, says Philman. And watching England is Man United with no problems, sad, says Dominic. But yeah, with Scotland losing today and England winning yesterday, it just takes the pressure off England in that game. You know, I think Rory said it on the watch along this afternoon that the fear was that England would draw with Croatia, Scotland would beat Czech Republic, and then they've got all the confidence. Scotland are going to be they'll be up for the England game, but it's all about go out there and show everybody what you've got, and that can be a good thing for England, because if I was Southgate, I'd be like, let them fly into tackles, play the referee, move the ball about, invite the tackles, get them booked. They'll get more desperate, they'll get more tired, and we'll kill them off in the second half. That's what I would say if I was Southgate. Good play here by Spain, but Sweden are there again to intercept. It's defence against attack. That's what it is. Cross had punched away. Super chat there from what do you think about Hakimi to Chelsea, says Oliver Logan. Big fan of his. Good signing. Torres lacks physicality. No CDM and Ollie will play Magaluf. City may look at Torres because they have CDMs. Coaching and playing styles are different. Says for Invason. Yep. Good point there. Can Spain find a winner? 10 minutes to go. Captain says, this game's been so boring it's made me fall asleep. I'm a little bit... Brian says, how's the match? I've got to be honest, I'm a little bit disappointed because I do feel that Sweden... I mean, look, let's be fair to Sweden here. They're not France. They're not Italy. They're Sweden. The clue's in the name. But they're not a footballing giants. And this game is being played in Sevilla. This is being played in Spain. This is an away fixture. And I don't think people are realising this. This is the thing. Like, Scotland played in Scotland today and Czech Republic beat them. That was a home game for Scotland, really. England at Croatia, that was a home game for England. So it's the Euros, but there are advantages. Like, Italy against Turkey, that was in Rome. This is Spain in Spain against Sweden. So Sweden, I think, have come into this game and they've been like, look, we're going to keep it tight. We're missing a couple of players as well. We're going to keep it tight. And, you know, maybe Sweden grow into this tournament. Maybe they're like, yeah, let's grow into the tournament. What's the odd Fred becomes a Scottish citizen? Ollie gets the sack, takes the Scottish job and wins the World Cup with McFred, says Sean Turner. I like it. I like it. But Spain, lack a striker is not... that's not the name of the striker. It sounds like Lacazette. Lack a striker. Spain lacking a striker was something that many people have highlighted coming into this tournament. And unfortunately, it is a problem. I was speaking about this last night, wasn't I? I said, I've noticed in the Europa League with Spanish sides that, and a lot of teams in the Europa League, that they can play football, but they can't score goals. It's probably why they're in the Europa League and not the Champions League. But I think with Spain, we're seeing the same thing. Lots and lots of technically good players, but not in the final third. And if you can't score goals, you can't win games. They need Inaki Williams' skills. Well, on the bench, in relation to strikers, they've got Marino. Oh, cut back. That could have been a goal. Who are their spot? Who on the bench? I can't really see anybody who's a striker there. Marino's a striker, isn't he? I don't know. Let's have a look at the Spanish Euro squad. Euro 2020 squad. So their forwards are Marino, Morata, Oyarzabal, Marino, Olmo, Pedri, Torres, Traore, Sarabia. So they don't really have a striker, do they? Marino. You know what? I'm going to give you a shout out there, Stish. He says Sanderberg would be perfect for Man United. Calm as Carrick and faster. I'm surprised United haven't been listed. Why United not been linked to Sanderberg? He's just been relegated with Sheffield United. I'm really surprised we haven't been linked to him. He's been linked to Arsenal. I mean, I don't know whether he's anywhere near good enough. That's probably the problem. Why he's not? That's why he's been linked to Arsenal. Anthony Johnson says, "I appreciate your honest emotions when Alex passed away. We lost another lifelong United fan this weekend. Tragically, as a Korean, he loved Park Sung Ji Lee. We will miss you, bro," says Anthony Johnson. Thanks for that, Anthony. Sad news. Aspaz doesn't get picked anymore, does he? Big fan of United Stan. Thanks from Sweden, says Norpen. Bruno for the golden boot thought, says Sean Turner. Yeah, I'm looking forward to Bruno tomorrow night, 5 o'clock. Well, in fact, that's the next game, isn't it? There's no 2 o'clock game tomorrow. So 5 o'clock tomorrow. Is it in Budapest, Hungary? Packed stadium. I mean, to be honest, this is the worst stadium as well. What's the capacity here? Because this is the worst one I've seen so far. It looks empty. Like, it doesn't look like there's many people in the Sevilla ground. Whereas I think at Wembley, it looked like there was a lot of people there. But it doesn't look like there's 25% people here. It looks very, very empty. I don't know why. So, yeah. No Real Madrid player in the squad for Spain. Your thoughts, says Subbo. Probably because they're not good enough. Apparently Romano is tweeted. Let's have a quick look. Fabrizio Romano. What's he saying? He says, there are no talks between Arsenal, Manchester United or player agents for Donny van der Beek. Arsenal will sign a new midfielder for sure, but there's nothing going on for Van der Beek as of today. There are other names in the list of priorities. So he's just basically just talking about that load of shit story. And Joe, who was on the chat before, he says, if Sweden lose this game, they'll have been robbed. It's been efficient performance, especially in the second half. I mean, I don't think that's even an update from Romano because I never believed that that would happen. Why? Goldometer, I still think if there's going to be a goal, I would say it's going to be Spain. But I think it's probably going to be 0-0 now. Yeah. But yeah, looking forward to that. So yeah, I don't know what the capacity for the Sevilla game is. It doesn't look like there's 25% in that ground. Not to me. Free kick. 4 minutes to go. Sweden are very boring, says Dave. I think they have been a little bit boring, but you know what? This is a little bit like, this is a little bit like Burnley going to Stamford Bridge. Why is it Sweden's responsibility to go and, attack Spain? Ruben Neves will be an interesting watch tomorrow. He's been linked with a move away from Wolves as well. Fabian Ruiz has come on for Spain. Disappointing start for Spain. They won't like it. What's going on with Spanish football is the bigger question. Real Madrid, Barcelona, nowhere near the giants of Europe anymore. Spain in the Euros. There'll be a lot of people looking at this going, they're not a threat. They're not a team that's going to cause big problems. And I think England could play Spain in the quarterfinals if we win our group and then win the next round. But I wouldn't be worried about playing this. I wouldn't be worried about playing them at all. And I think, you know what? I sort of hope it finishes a draw now because I think if Sweden do draw this game, with Poland losing to Slovakia, that Group E becomes quite open now. The sort of games that makes Lindelof look good, says Alex, and heard Sean Dyche is managing Sweden, says Shane. Oh yeah, Lindelof always looks good in the defence where he's surrounded by other defenders. Spain would spank England. They can't even spank Sweden, mate. So I'm not really thinking that. Adama's on the bench. I don't think they use him much. And Vandy Candy says third place is important in these Euros. Well, also, that's from Sweden's point of view, that's why the point's good. Because if they can just win one of their remaining games, you go 4 points, you're through. You get 4 points, you're through. No, not 4 teams aren't going to get 4 points. In third place. So we're 88 minutes and a half. Purple Brick Pickle says Spain beat Germany 6-0. So there's something there. A cross came in there. And Gerard Marino just didn't get across his man. But the ball had gone out of play. Pedri made a lot of changes, Spain. Yazabel's on. Marino's on. Thiago is on. They've made the changes, but they've not been able to get the goals. What's the longest your hair's ever been, says Matt. I did used to have hair that curled up like a mullet at the back when I was about 8. It was when, I mean, a lot of you won't remember, but Neighbours used to be mad popular in the UK, like proper popular in the late the late 80s. And Scott and Charlene, Scott was Jason Donovan, and he had hair that was like spiky on top, short at the sides, but sort of like mullet at the back. So I had one of them. I mean, imagine if I did that now. I'd look a right dick. But loads of people had it then. Mullets are back in fashion, says Marvin. I'll take your word on it. Would we ever see you do a collab with DT on this channel, says Subbo? I don't think so anymore. I haven't got a problem with the guy, but I just don't think that sort of thing's going to happen anymore. That's a goal! Oh! What a chance! What a miss! 90th minute. What a miss by Spain. Who was it? Was it Marino? Was it Marino? Who missed it? I don't know. I'm trying to get some clarity here. It's a great save, but the keeper gets the plaudits, but you've got to yeah, it's Gerard Marino. Cross comes in again. Who's lost their man? Lindelof. Fucking Lindelof again. Lovely cross. Lindelof's lost his man, and he heads it straight at the keeper. It's not Morata. Morata's gone off, you prat. Morata's been off for about 20 minutes. Oh, he had a good shot there, though. Well, Spain have had the chances to win this. They've definitely had the chances to win it. And look, it's a good save by the keeper, but you watch this back here. They're going to show you a different shot. He's got to score that. They've got to score that. Jay says this match shows that not only technical gifted players are not good enough, you need a raw and strong goal scorer to go with it. Jay, you know, I don't want to go all Michael Owen on everybody, but if you ain't got someone to put the ball in the back of the net, it doesn't matter how many chances you create. It doesn't matter how good your football is. You need somebody to put the ball in the back of the net. That is why strikers win Ballon d'Ors more than defenders. That is why strikers get paid more than defenders, because scoring goals is the thing that wins you games. Lindelof lost his man. Where we've heard that from Bifignesh before. There's some people saying it's not Lindelof's fault. I mean, it's certainly not the other centre-back's fault, because he's trying to jump to win it. It's over him, so Lindelof's got to cover him. But it's just, we've seen that goal so many times. So many times we've seen that sort of mistake. I mean, in this game alone, I think they've had 4 times where those Swedish centre-backs have lost their man. In again, Alba, cross, back post. Oh, again. Spain can't believe it. Sarabia this time, back post, and it lands in the hands. Jordi Alba can't believe it. He's made the run. Lovely run, cross into the box, delightful cross, and it hits Sarabia on the knee and bounces into the keeper's arms. And to be fair, Marino again just can't get. I don't know why he turns his back on that. They've probably done enough to win this, Spain, to be fair. They've certainly should have won it. Mark, imagine if Spain had Lewandowski, says Kieran Stewart. Now there's something that would work well, yeah. Or a Cavani. That's what they need. They just need a proper number 9. They miss at number 9. That's what they do. The technical area is massive here, isn't it? I saw somebody talking about that before. I've only just really noticed it. Massive. It's bloody huge. And they're really far apart as well. What's that all about? Sanderberg is a good signing, says Charlton fan. Mark, what's the story between you and FTV? What happens as NMCC? I don't really want to talk about it, really. Just don't really want to talk about it. I don't want to give steam to these people who behave in that way, so I'm not going to talk about it. Pedri. Alba, he's played well, Alba. Now it's a Yazabal into the box. Is there going to be a late winner for Spain? Well, they're going to get a corner. About a minute left here. Thanks everybody who's been watching. We are back tomorrow with the 5 o'clock watch along. And Portugal against Hungary and then Germany against France. Cannot wait. Cannot wait for those. But this one, not been great. Is there going to be a late winner from a corner for Spain? Cross comes in. Looks a bit high. It's not. It's headed wide. I think it was Marino again. I tell you what, though, I would pick Gerard Marino over Morata. I know I know he's had a miss, but he just looks more of a handful. I think that's the way forward for Spain. Pick Gerard Marino over Morata. He looks definitely more of a handful than Morata does. It's not a bad chance again. Not catastrophic for either side this, but Spain would have expected to get the win tonight. Spain probably should have got the win tonight. They've had the better chances. But why did he take off Isaac? With 20 minutes to go, he basically said, I just want to draw. Another good cross in. And I tell you what, Spain put a lot of crosses into the box. So if you're going to put crosses into the box, get that Gerard Marino on. Definitely get him up front. Definitely. That's full time. So it finishes 0-0. We've had our first ball draw in the Euros, which is disappointing. You don't want to be seeing that in the Euros, do we? But it finishes in a goalless draw. No one wanted to predict that. No one wanted to really watch that, but we did. And it finishes 0-0 to nobody, because that's what it is. It's a draw. Thank you everybody for watching as per usual. Fantastic comments as per usual, even though we didn't get a fantastic game. We have got a watch along. We've got 2 watch alongs tomorrow. 5 o'clock for Hungary against Portugal, and then Germany against France tomorrow night. Surely they will live up to the billing. Tonight it didn't. Spain against Sweden. Well, actually, Czech Republic was a better game. Look, thanks everyone for watching. Make sure you smash the like on the video, subscribe, get yourself some rest and everything, and I'll speak to you all a little bit later.